Someone the other day asked, how do I send a batch email out specifically to my past clients in Sphere? This one is a quick and easy answer. So I'm going to walk you through this in my Follow Up Boss account and show you. Okay, so to send a batch email in Follow Up Boss, first of all, something to consider that's best practice is to only send batch emails as the owner or admin of the Follow Up Boss account, but not as an agent. So that's when things can go crazy if you allow all of your agents within your company to send batch emails to their leads, because they can accidentally send the wrong emails to the wrong people. They can accidentally send too many batch emails out. It can hurt your email reputation with your domain and your email provider. So it's typically best practice that only the owner or admin sends batch emails. So to send a batch email to your past clients in Sphere and Follow Up Boss depends on a few things. So to send a batch email in Follow Up Boss depends on a few things. First is, where are your past clients? You need to find them first. So in Follow Up Boss, if you click on the people screen, you should see the filter box here. If you don't, and it looks like this, just click the top right corner here where you see filters. Make sure all other filters are removed. I recommend filtering by stage, include past client, if you use the past client stage. You can also use closed stage for your past client. You might use the tag past client instead. So the first part of that answer is you need to find out where your past clients are. They need to be staged in some way so you can find them again. Or you might call them like forever clients, just whatever you identify them as. We personally use the stage past client and the stage Sphere. So we're saying the stage includes past client or Sphere. Now you could just go with this list and say, okay, I found 3,600 people here, so I'm going to email them all. But I highly recommend layering in more filters so that you are not emailing too often to your past clients in Sphere and you're not emailing the wrong past clients in Sphere. What do I mean by that? Well, let me show you our past client list. I need to hide names. Well, let me show you our past client list. So on this right-hand side here, you can see we have a ton of filters. We do have the filter for stage past client, and in that case, you could also include Sphere. But we have lots of other filters here, and I'm going to show you which ones would be relevant. First is we exclude tags, unsubscribed or bounced. Although by default, Follow Up Boss excludes people unsubscribed, I'm really conservative and a warrior, so I make sure I manually exclude those as well. And bounced. So another reason why these people may not be included is if you imported your past clients from a different CRM and they were tagged manually, but Follow Up Boss doesn't have record that they unsubscribed, or that they were tagged manually as bounced, but they don't have a record in Follow Up Boss that they're bounced. Also, Follow Up Boss does not by default exclude people tagged as bounced, so I manually exclude them. You want to manually exclude people that are tagged as bounced because if it is a bad email, then you don't want to keep emailing a bad email and getting a bounce back. The more bounce backs you get, the more it hurts your email reputation. Now here at our company, our virtual assistant keeps an eye on everyone who gets tagged as bounced. And if they're a past client, then he reaches out to them individually and asks for a good email address if we have a phone number. Or he might see, oh, maybe there's multiple email addresses in the profile and only one email bounced. So then he removes the email and removes the tag bounced. Some other filters I recommend stacking are to ensure people are not being emailed too much, are last sent action plan email, or if you're in automations 2.0, last sent automation email more than 2 days ago. That's a bit more aggressive than some people may not like. You might say, well, they just received an email from me via a drip campaign, an automation, an action plan 2 days ago, so I don't want to batch email them that quickly. I used to do 7 days. But since our deliverability, our open rate, and our unsubscribe rate did not increase whenever I decreased the number of days, that's where we landed. I did start out at like 14 days, and I just recommend experimenting with what's a safe amount of days to where you'll still get high opens and low unsubscribes to where your audience does not feel like you are over communicating and over emailing them. Another filter I recommend adding is last communication. So this means that they've received a call, like there's a logged call either manually or through the dialer, a logged manual email sent, or a logged manual text sent. So if you've had communication with them in the past 2 days, we exclude them. Again, you can play around with the numbers here. I started out with 14 days and I just went slowly down. I was like, let's see what happens when I move it to 13 days and 12 days. You can ignore this one here. Last sent batch email. So last sent action plan email, last sent automation email does not include batch emails, which is what we're doing here. So I exclude people who've received a batch email in the past 2 days. Again, I originally started with I only want to email them twice a month. I don't want them to feel overwhelmed by me. So I started out with 14 days. I also added email is good filter. So if you just type in email and then is good, then you are going to ensure that the email is not empty and you have a true number list of people here. Now, one caveat. When you stack these filters, yes, you are ensuring people are not being emailed and reached out to too often and so on. But the downside of this is not everyone's going to show up when it is time for you to send an email because everyone's been communicated with at different points in time. Like this person talked to 2 days ago, but this person 2 months ago, this person 4 years ago, 3 months ago. People are going to be all over the place. Same with last sent automation email, last sent action plan email. So what we do at our company when we send batch emails, if you have, let's say you have a new listing for sale, or for past clients, you have an event you want to invite people to, and that's the purpose of emailing your past clients in Sphere, then 1,700 people are on this list today. But if you remember, when I pulled up the entire list of past clients, there's 3,600 people. Now, if I filter, email is good. Okay, 3,600 people total. So that means we're missing. So if you have a list of people you want to batch email and invite to, and 1,700 people are going to show up today to email. But we have someone who is in charge of sending batch emails after I sent her the SOPs. She goes in every day. And she says, okay, there's 1,700 today, but tomorrow when she checks, there's going to be 300. So then she'll invite those 300. And then the next day there'll be 100. And then the next day there'll be 500, whatever it is. And so what we do proactively, and this is where it gets really granular and how you become the top 1%, is you tag people whenever you send the batch email so that you don't send the same batch email to the same people several times, and you make sure everyone receives it. Now, we go in a lot more detail on this in our fundamentals course. So our fundamentals is a 4-week course where we go into we deep dive into this stuff. We deep dive into best practice batch email lists and smart list. But if you take a look at our batch email history, let's see here. You can see for example, look at how many batch emails we sent yesterday. And they're all different. Session replay, more appointments, working harder, your technology guide, increase in response, your CRM. They said our name 13 times, 166%. More deals, 3 trained VAs ready, why your clients will notice the change, the setup mistake. What if they said our name 13 times? Like this one we sent to 2 different audiences. But take a look at the number of recipients, 14. This is our big lead list, hence the unsubscribe, but it still says 0% in relation to the number of recipients. 35, 8, 15, 6, 4, 3, 3, 1, 1. So some of these batch emails we're only sending to one person because of how segmented we made our database of exactly who matches what, matches last communication. And then you can see 2 days ago here, I'm trying to only highlight the one. Look at how many we sent again, but the list numbers are small. 14, 69, 4, 4, 1, 4, 23, 41, 5, 300, 13, 21, 30, 32. And you'll see some repeats like your tech guide. We sent that 2 days in a row because different people are showing up in different days. Your CRM isn't the problem. Like you're seeing here that we have a list of rotating emails that we send and we keep a track of it in Notion. and instructions for what tag we use, what list it's sent to, who it's sent from. Some of the emails are sent from the founder. Some of them are sent from the assigned agent. Some of them are sent from our admin, or for you, it'll be like your client care person. Sometimes it'll be from an ISA. Sometimes it'll be from, I don't know, if you have like a customer service department, that's what we have. It really just depends on the content and the context and the audience and the segmentations of who we send to what. So I'm going down rabbit holes there, but I just want to share, like, there is a simple answer to the original question. How do I batch email my past clients in Sphere? The simple answer, go to people, filter by past client in Sphere, maybe add in the email is good, and then check this box. You can see here it only selected 30 of the 1700. I click select all 1700, and then you can batch email. One thing, side note, is people will have a question of, why can I only batch email 100 or 500? The reason for that is either one, you're using a free email account. Gmail and 365 have limitations on their part for how many emails you can send. That's not a limitation of Follow Up Boss. That's a limitation of your email provider. They don't allow free email accounts to send emails in bulk because they want to prevent spammers from spamming people. They want you to have a little bit of skin in the game and pay for a paid email account. The other reason why you may have a limitation is maybe one time in the past you signed up for something like SendGrid. Let's find that under admin integrations. You signed up for SendGrid to use your own account for email deliverability. That's what we do. Maybe you signed up, you're past the free trial, or your subscription is overdue and your credit card expired. You'd want to check that and make sure that this is set up properly if you've set up your own SendGrid account. Yes, hopefully I did answer the question of how do I batch email my past clients in Sphere, but I wanted to give you the details of other things to consider.